Psst, over here. I'm a boggling. Me and my buddies need a place to hide out. Come a little closer. Oh, did I scare you? Oh, I do that so well.
The good, the bad, and the ugly show.
Hello, and welcome back to The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly Show. And keeping in with the theme of Halloween, this week we're talking about scary toys and spooky action figures. So, we're going to start with a toy that I was obsessed with back in the 1990s. This is known as the boggling. I'll just get him out a minute. So, as you can see, he's a hand puppet.
Hi, I'm a boggling. Me and my buddies want to be your friend, right, guys? Right.
There were different versions of this toy. There's this one, which is the hand puppet, the kind of medium one. There was another one which was a little bit bigger, and it had movable eyes. And there was a smaller one that kind of fit on your finger, looked a bit like a slug. Anyway, bogglings, they were fantastic. This one has survived from my childhood. The other ones have all like disappeared over time. I don't know where they are now. But yeah, still got this guy. He's pretty cool. So, we'll place him down. So next we have the more accessible versions, which are known as the mini bogglings. Now these were like a mystery grab bag that you could get in shops, a bit like the same way you'd buy Pogs or like, I don't know, baseball cards, chewing gum cards, you know, WWF stickers, that kind of thing. So yeah, here's we'll start with this guy. That's pretty cool, right? It's in the palm of your hand. He's really like quite attractive, isn't he? There we go. So there's that one. This one here, he's like biting his own tail. Like this guy, he's ready to eat. See that? And yeah, this guy, I don't know, is he making pasta or is that like a bottle of something? He's doing something anyway, something. And then we have this guy who's kind of like doing the classic gargoyle thing. I mean, basically they are like little gargoyles, really. I mean, that's why I like them, I think. Movable gargoyles, even better.
Wait, sir. Look.
So, next we'll move on to something here. This is called a teddy scare. Here we go. So, it looks a bit like Jason from Friday the 13th 2 with the whole sack over the head. The idea was these were like teddy bears that kids discarded, left in the garden to kind of rot on the trees. And they kind of like turned into these weird kind of like killing machines that have come back to wreak revenge. This one originally had a axe, but I know the axe is around this house somewhere, but I have no idea where it is. Which is probably for the better, really. Okay, so next we move on to, let's place these guys to one side a minute. Next we move on to something that I've already done a video about, so there's no need to get like... So there's no need to get too far into it. This is the coffin bank. So what you do with this is you wind him up. You put your money down there, and he comes out and grabs it like that. Terrifies me every time, and leaves it on the table. Defeats the purpose of the point. So next we have a toy of a figure of Edward Scissorhands that I found at a car boot sale years ago. He's quite good. He's very cartoony. His scissors move. He comes with a little dog that he's given the haircut to, which is also pretty cool. But there you go. So there's that. There's that. So next we move on to something that is definitely from my childhood. This is great. I mean, people still love the Ghostbusters. There's about to be a new Ghostbusters film, so people should remember the Ghostbusters cartoon, the real Ghostbusters.
Ghostbusters! Each sold separately.
So here is the toilet. Just a normal toilet, seemingly. A normal toilet with a Ghostbusters logo on it. But, I mean, isn't that amazing? It's a monster toilet. And next we have the old lady. If the camera's going to focus in on that, hopefully it is. Hopefully it's focusing on everything, I can't really see it. So yeah, so you kind of pull her hat up and, yeah, I mean... terrifying, right? Terrifying granny. We all had one of them.
A kiss. for your dear old granny. Bill.
And finally we have Slimer. So yeah, good old Slimer there. And might as well show the last one that we have is Egon Spengler, who is a classic character. The only character who is no longer with us, who won't be in the new one, but he was kind of like the guy in charge. So I don't know how they're going to do that. And now we have probably quite scarce, probably quite hard to come by now. We have the Gremlins toys. So here is Gizmo, a little quite movable, quite cool action figure there. Yeah, and yeah, we have a really sort of bendy gremlin. Don't get them wet or feed them after midnight. Yeah, this one seems to be very different to this one. Probably not the same set, but I kind of had them together. He won't stand up. Now we're going to move on into the kind of horror film toys, all that stuff that everyone loves. So I'm going to begin with a knockoff. So Freddy Krueger, there was a Freddy Krueger doll made back in the 80s or early 90s. Lots of Nightmare on Elm Street merchandise that probably shouldn't have been made, considering who Freddy Krueger was. But yeah, we have this. It looks like they've shoved Freddy Krueger's head and hand onto Where's Wally. And he's smiley and happy. Yeah, strange toy, definitely. It comes from a little range of figures they've made. They're called like monsters, something. Basically, there were a bunch of them. There's like a werewolf and a vampire one, and Freddy Krueger for some reason. He's got a different name as well. He's called something like Long Hand Joe or something along those lines. Very odd. Anyway, it cost me about 10p at a car boot sale about 20 years ago. So now we move on to an interesting range that Burger King put out back in the 90s. I remember getting these at the time. They came with Happy Meals, that Burger King?
Burger King Kids Club. Great food, cool stuff, kids only.
It came out with the kids meals in Burger King. So here we go. There are monsters, Universal monster figures. So we begin, we have Dracula. Look at him. Good old Bela Lugosi. Yeah, he originally had a cape and a coffin that he rose from. That's long gone, but yeah, quite a good figure, really. Quite a good thing to get with a burger. Anyway, then we had the Wolfman. So Lon Chaney Jr. actually does look quite like the Wolfman from the films as well. Quite impressed with this one as well. That's quite good. And the other ones they did, which I don't have, are the Creature from the Black Lagoon and a kind of transparent Frankenstein, which I didn't think looked very good, so I wasn't too worried about it.
Universal Studios monsters are on the loose. You can get one toy and glow-in-the-dark sticker inside every Kids Club meal at Burger King.
Wow, really nice costume.
And to kind of complement these, my wife picked this up in Vegas in a kind of retro toy shop. It is the Bride of Frankenstein. And I kind of think she looks quite a lot like these figures, so she kind of, works quite well with them. It looks like maybe the legs and body once belonged to Princess Leia. I don't know. These toys, they were called. These figures were. Fucking hell! It's like an episode of Rainbow where he kicks all the teddy bears over.
There's a letter in the store. Big Ted, sit up. And now little Ted's fallen over. My goodness. There's a letter in the story today. I'm an artist. How am I expected to work with these amateurs, for God's sake?
These figures are by a company called Reaction, and basically they take like old molds of like Star Wars figures and stuff and kind of customize them and turn them into other things. Like there's a Marty McFly Back to the Future. There's loads of Back to the Future ones, loads of Alien ones. You can get Pinhead, you can get all kinds of weird characters. But anyway, this is the box it came with. There we go. And on the back there is some of the other figures you could get, which look quite a lot like these Burger King ones. So I'm thinking maybe that's where they got the molds from for these, and they made these out of them. I don't know, I'm not too sure. I have to contact Reaction Figures to find out exactly like what all their secrets are. They probably won't tell you anyway. So next we move on to actual well actually these are official, but we move on to even more official merchandise from the 80s horror. This is a Friday the 13th spitball. So remember spitball toys? You like squeeze them in water and they spit water. So yeah, this is a Jason Voorhees one. There we go. Now, what's the year of this? 1989. Okay, so this would have come out the same time as Jason Takes Manhattan. He didn't really take Manhattan in that film either, but we'll get into that on another video.
You're a dead meat slime bag! Yo, man, it's cool. It's cool, man. It's cool.
So this brings us to the last two now. The last two that I happen to have anyway at this point. Because I'm not really collecting figures like crazy. I have a few. I see things now and then. I pick them up. I'm not one of these guys who goes to like toy fairs every few months, or like or these kind of shops and places. Or I don't even buy stuff online that much. I just see things now and then. I think, yeah, the price is right. I'm going to grab that because it looks kind of cool. So yeah, this is something I picked up. I did go to a toy fair about 5 months ago, and it was the first one I've ever been to as an adult. I've only been to one, and that was as a child. But yeah, so you picked up these, and these are really cool. So this is these are made by Funko, who make Funko Pops, which I don't really like, but these are quite clever. Here's Pinhead. So yeah, so the idea of these is they're kind of like He-Man figures, but they're like He-Man warrior type figures that have been turned into horror icons, or they've made horror icons in the style of like He-Man warrior figures. This comes with a box, the magic box, and some weapons that don't fit in his hand. But he looks really cool, right? Stand up now. And finally, brings us on to the man of the moment, the man who's back in the cinemas at the moment. I wouldn't say anything about that film because a lot of people haven't seen it yet. It's a nice surprise for you. Here is the man himself, Michael Myers. So there we go. I don't know if that's helping at all. Yeah, I mean, his face looks really cool. The body's ridiculous. What a silly toy. I thought I'd have to pick it up. On the back here, there's other ones. I don't know if you can get that on the camera there. I don't know. I'll put it up on the camera in a minute anyway. You get Freddy Krueger, Jason Voorhees, Leatherface. I think that's it. I think that's the lot. So, there we go. There's some horror toys and some spooky toys to get you right in the mood for Halloween. There was also a great line of horror movie toys made by McFarlane's company back in the late 90s called McFarlane's Movie Maniacs. So they had like toys or figures of Leatherface, Jason, Army of Darkness, Michael Myers, and all kinds of other stuff. I had a few of them, but they're long since lost. And there's still currently a pretty good line from Mego, or Mego, however you're supposed to pronounce it. But they do some pretty cool figures as well. So there we go. That was a small collection of some spooky, scary toys and some frightening horror action figures. Please like, share, and subscribe to The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly Show.
Because there's no room left in hell.
The best breakfast under the big top.
Here come the new demons. Shooting Iron, Transylvanian Express, Black Knight.
Here's something you'll really want to get your teeth into. One of the fiendish feet, yogurts and desserts from St. Ivel.
Great Halloween parties begin at Walgreens. Candy, party decorations, masks, costumes, makeup. Everything you need for Halloween fun now at Walgreens.
At Woolworth or Woolco for your Halloween needs.
I hear the Great Pumpkin.
The Halloween classic, it's the Great Pumpkin Charlie Brown, right after Garfield went.
On Saturday night, we'll be visiting the most haunted house in Britain. But will the ghosts be there? Can you take it?
Ghost Watch, a Screen One special for Halloween, Saturday at 9:25 on...
Halloween 5, The Revenge of Michael Myers, coming to videocassette.